Close enough. I'm going to follow Neil's example and basically say I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I'll do something. But since we were talking about partial capos earlier, I'll do one using a partial capo. Why not? And this is from a recording I did a long time ago called Candy Shower. And back in July, I did a show with my recent band, The Usual Culprits, where we played the entire Candy Shower album all the way through, which was kind of fun. So I got to revisit all those songs. This is the title track. It's a little metaphorical love story. You know what? I'm going to take a minute to tune because I care. It's worth it. That's better. There we go. Well, he wears a suit of armor when he's doing it down on Wall Street. Ah, but Linda, she's a gypsy. She could almost make him care. When she says, meet me at the carnival, you know, I'll wear a red carnation. Oh, now suddenly he's opening, and it's really got him scared. And it's a candy shower, thinks he's swerving into a breakdown. Candy shower like a frozen grin on a sad, sad clown. And it's a candy shower, thinks he's swerving into a breakdown. He's soft in the middle with a brittle shell. He's so soft in the middle with a brittle shell, yeah. He's slamming at the buttons, and he's shaking like a cocktail. And then it's 7 Hail Marys as that cable starts to snap. Oh, he's tumbling and turning, and he can't hold out much longer. Oh, he's dealing with his feelings as his shell begins to crack. And it's a candy shower, thinks he's swerving into a breakdown. Candy shower like a frozen grin on a sad, sad clown. Come on now, it's a candy shower, thinks he's swerving into a breakdown. He's soft in the middle with a brittle shell. He's so soft in the middle with a brittle shell. And now he's falling, he's falling. Well, who knows what comes after? He's calling, he's calling. Hear the panic through his laughter. It's raining chocolate kisses from a papier-mâché Target. It's the San Antone Fiesta with 1,000 pink balloons. Oh, it's sweeter than the sugar cane or any Tootsie Roll kisses. Now they're dancing to the sugar beat underneath that Texas moon. And it's a candy shower, he's not swerving into a breakdown. Candy shower, when he looks in her eyes, you could almost drown. And it's a candy shower, much too late to turn around. He's soft in the middle, still soft in the middle. Thanks. Well, after like 11 of these camps or something, I feel like I want to do something that I haven't done a million times here. And I don't think I've done that one too many times. So Why not? It's going back a few years. This is one. Now I'm gonna break one of the rules that I will tell you when we do the performance workshop is, don't do songs you don't know. Do the songs you've done a million times you could do in your sleep. Do the ones you could get right every time. But you reach a certain point and you're willing to live on the edge a little more. So this is a song that I only play at a certain time of year. You'll understand when you hear it. I do like the song, but it's not for every day. And as I was driving down, I thought, I should do that one. I was like, well, gosh, I haven't played it since last year. Maybe I should rehearse it. Well, one thing or another this afternoon, that didn't happen. So I'm going to fly without a net. But it goes back a few years, and hopefully I've done it enough times it'll all come rushing back. Here we go. Doesn't have any real fancy guitar stuff in it, but that's all right. Babe, you know you're gonna be all right. I'll be leaving in the morning, should be home by Sunday night. But this trip won't be a long one, I hate leaving you alone. I'll be counting out the minutes till I'm home, and I'll be in heaven when I see you again. Will you be waiting at the door to let me in? Give our little girl a kiss. You can't know how much I'll miss you. I'll be in heaven when I see you again. I'm in Newark now. There's not much of a line. They say we're 40 minutes late, but the weather is just fine. I'll hang up because we're boarding, but I'll see you in a while. Then we'll celebrate my homecoming in style, and I'll be in heaven when I see you again. Will you be waiting at the door to let me in? Give our little girl a kiss. You can't know how much I miss you. I'll be in heaven when I see you again. Babe, I can't talk loudly, but I think there's something wrong. A commotion near the cockpit or a fight. We're gonna try to overpower them, 'cause there's only 4 or 5. Just remember that I love you. If somehow we don't survive, we can't let them hit the White House or a populated town. We're going in, oh babe, we're going down. And I'll be in heaven when I see you again. Will you be waiting at the gate to let me in? Give our little girl a kiss. You can't know how much I miss you. I'll be in heaven when I see you again. I'll be in heaven when I see you again. Thanks. Whew, so yeah, not a song I do every day, but it is September 9th, I think, right? So it's that time of year. Yeah, thank you. I didn't want to write a song when it happened, and I didn't. The song was actually written about a year and a month later. My first child, our daughter Sophia, was born in 2002, and I'd kind of gone off the road a little bit when she was first born, and then I started to tour again. And So that song was written, actually, I was flying to, I don't know, the East Coast or Texas or somewhere, and I was on my first flight since she'd been born, leaving her behind, and somehow I just flashed on all the stuff from Flight 93, and the song kind of wrote itself from there. So I was, I'm not going to write a song about that, but sometimes they write themselves. So I'll do one more and then maybe talk about, any questions you have about the whole songwriting thing. I will say, most of you I've met before. Some of you I've worked with on songwriting. Some of you I've known for a long time, but you haven't really dipped your toes too much in the songwriting waters. So I encourage you, give it a try. It's my firm belief that everybody can write a song. And I kind of believe most people have at least one really good song in them. Not everybody's going to write a lot of good songs, but most people have at least one really good song. And you have to write some bad ones to get to the good ones. So I encourage you to come and do some songwriting, and we'll see what we get. So again, I like to challenge myself. I've been doing this a long time, and it's always fun to go out on a limb. Plus, I've been here a lot of times, and some of you have heard me a lot of times. So I wrote a song just a couple weeks ago. I'd had a very long kind of dry spell during the pandemic where I wasn't writing much, but I came up with one that I actually like. So I'm going to play that for you and see if I can remember it. It's a brand new song. I've played it twice in public so far, but this is the third time out. It's called Walk This World, and then we'll turn it over to Jim. Does anybody have any questions about the whole songwriting thing? Not yet. Okay. Good enough. Well, tomorrow you can ask. This world is going to pieces, still we seem to be alright. As we're walking through the neighborhood on a soft and fragrant night, there's a beating of cicadas and a gentle delta breeze. As I take your hand, I feel you give an understated squeeze. An understated squeeze. Won't you walk this world beside me? Not ahead, but not behind. Won't you walk this world beside me? Just for a while, for a million miles, our paths will intertwine. They say nothing lasts forever, oh, 'cause that's a long, long time. In the blink of an eye, some worlds collapse with no reason and no rhyme. But only for this moment, we can feel we're not alone. And come what may, the memories of this day will keep me going. Those memories keep me going. Oh, if you walk this world beside me, not ahead, but not behind. Oh, won't you walk this world beside me? And just for a while, for a million miles, our paths will intertwine. Pairs of footsteps side by side, shimmer in the moonlight, fading slowly out of sight. Down this river of existence, there's a tiny little boat. Two people clinging to the sides, just trying to stay afloat. But if they work together, take a seat and grab an oar, there's a tiny chance that they might make it safely to the shore. Safely to the shore. So won't you walk this world beside me? Not ahead, but not behind. If you walk this world beside me, then just for a while, for a million miles, our paths will intertwine. This world is going to pieces. Still it seems that we're alright as we're walking through the neighborhood on a soft and fragrant night. A soft and fragrant night. Thanks. All right. So it's probably a work in progress. Might be a draft and might change yet. What's that? You've heard it twice now, yeah. And I changed it slightly since you heard it before. It's evolving. That's how these things work. Jim, you ready to come up here and do some singing for us? The one and only Jim Bruno. Any songwriting questions while we're... Lyrics or melody first. I tend to write them at the same time. I rarely come up with words without some kind of melody in my head, but then I triangulate, and often I will take the melody I was writing in my head while I was writing the words, and I'll make a new melody after that and change it around. Well, or sometimes I'll come up with a melody and then some words, but then I'll change the words, and so it's kind of a back and forth process. It's the hypotenuse, exactly. And then you have to figure out where do the chords come into it, right? And again, I usually have the chords in my head when I'm writing, but when I actually sit down at a guitar or piano to write, then sometimes I'll come up with new ideas for the chords. I did have a very astute comment that Al Stewart made to me just the other day, was that the Beatles, right, had Paul McCartney, who is one of the great melodists, or is one of the great melodists of our time, not always as interesting in terms of chords, but John Lennon, who was not always one of the great melodists of our time, fantastic at chords. And so you put them together, and you had the Beatles, which was, kind of hard to beat. So they were not bad. Good little band for a little while, yeah. Yeah, but, the Beatles, they did okay, I guess. All right, so, Jim Bruno. Can I...